to this beat.
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Ballin with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Ballin with Captain Will. We got a good one today, y'all. I said we got a good one today, y'all. We are talking about Texas women's basketball team that is undefeated, taking on a very good Ole Miss women's basketball team tomorrow afternoon at 1500. It is going down. And can Texas remain undefeated? Can they move past the hype? Because there's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure on this Texas women's basketball team as they navigate their way through this SEC schedule. It is tough. And Ole Miss is not a scrub. Ole Miss is not a Rudy Poop. Ole Miss can play some basketball. Make sure you like, subscribe to Ballin with Captain Will, because you're not rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Follow me on Instagram at Captain Will OG. Follow me on Twitter, X, whatever they calling it now, Gamecocks Talk. And you can find Ballin with Captain Will on YouTube. Brand new show. And if you were watching me on Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will, now you can also watch me on Ballin with Captain Will. Imagine being undefeated. Imagine going into the SEC schedule, being undefeated. The entire basketball world is waiting for you to lose. For real. Watching your every move, watching what's going on with the coaching staff, watching what's going on behind the scenes, just praying for your downfall. Same team that's undefeated is now facing the outstanding basketball team in Ole Miss. And this ain't just about X's and O's. This ain't all about X's and O's. This is a quote unquote, it's on a battlefield, if you will. Now, I'm a old retired captain, so I know all about that. But this is the basketball battlefield. And these two terrific basketball teams take the court on tomorrow. If we look at Texas, currently Texas is 16-0. Currently Texas is third in that ranking, has a strength of schedule of 51st. 4-0 in quadrant 1. Beat South Carolina. Beat my South Carolina Gamecocks. Currently ranked second in this net rankings. Beat Carolina by 2 points on November 27th. Beat UCLA. Number 4 team in the net rankings. Okay, this is a deal. Because I know we got a lot of folks that's watching Captain Will, and it's a couple things that I go by. First off, I don't like the AP poll. Can't stand the AP poll. I think it sucks. I think it's terrible. I don't like it. So I always talk about the net rankings. The net rankings is we talk about strength of schedule. We talk about where the games are played. We talk about margins of victory. We talk about all these different things. How we measure basketball teams. And the net rankings also determine the seedings in March Madness. AP poll ain't got nothing to do with no seedings. Ain't got nothing to do with it whatsoever. It's just cool for TV. But the net rankings is what I go by. So let's go back. Texas beat a very good UCLA team in Las Vegas. When you come across, when you beat South Carolina and you beat UCLA in Vegas, I was there. I was in the hoopla. I was having the time of my life. Just keep it real. Captain Will and Wifey Will, Chocolate Drop herself, was having the time of my life. Great basketball atmosphere on top of everything that goes by in Vegas. But Texas showed that they were the better team in that quote-unquote tournament with Duke, Carolina, UCLA. They won. They did. They also beat Baylor, 34th ranked in the net ranking. They blew Baylor slam out. Beat Baylor by 34 points. 34 points on December 14th. They also beat Richmond. Richmond 47th ranked. Blew them out by 29. They beat South Dakota State. Blew them out by 19. They beat some quality basketball teams. So ain't no shade whatsoever when I talk about the next Texas women's basketball team. They can play the game of basketball. UConn is number one. And UConn is number one, and they the champion. They are the champions. And right now, as I currently see basketball on January the 3rd, as I record at 17:20, UConn is the best basketball team. I see them all. And they're the best. If you put the totality of offense and defense, UConn is the best right now. But Texas is right behind them. They are right behind them. Texas is 5th in offensive rating. And when I seen Texas play South Carolina, I saw they are really good. They're 3rd in defensive rating. You know, when you are 5th in offensive rating and 3rd in defensive rating, that means you can play very well. They're 4th in field goal percentage. They're 14th in 2-point percentage. They're 36th in 3-point percentage. Now the 3-point percentage, let's just keep it real. We always keep it 100, okay? So the 3-point percentage for the Texas women's basketball team is ranked 36, but they don't shoot threes, okay? There are 363 basketball teams in Division I basketball. Texas attempt rate at three-pointers is 363. So they shoot the least amount of three-pointers in basketball, but they shoot it at a good clip, okay? So 36%, but they don't shoot none. So take that for what it's worth. Free throw per shooting, they're about average. They're 188th. What sets Texas off offensively? They're 13th in assists per basketball game. Rory Harmon, and we're going to talk a little bit about Rory Harmon in a few minutes. She's having an amazing season. She will be. If she is not a first-round pick in the WNBA draft, something's wrong with somebody. Just got to keep it real. It's Texas women's basketball with 13th in assists per game, and they're 2nd in the country in the fewest turnovers per basketball game. You come on, 2nd in assist to turnover ratio. This is why they so great. They don't turn the ball over. They have a very high assist to turnover ratio. They have a true point guard running this offense. If you want to see a basketball team that needs a player like Rory Harmon on it, go look at that LSU versus Kentucky women's basketball game on last night. Go the night before that, whatever it was. Go take a look at that basketball game. You will see the need for having a true point guard, not no shooting guards, posing as a point guard. You need a floor leader, and that's what Rory Harmon is. She is a floor leader, and she gets everybody in the right spots. She don't commit any turnovers, and Texas as a whole is an amazing basketball team in that aspect, while also shooting, 4th in field goal percentage. This is why they're a great team, y'all. You throw in they're really good defensively, 3rd in defensive rating, 36th in field goal percentage allowed. I mean, they were really good. And what sets them off as well is in steals. They're 7th in the country. Out of 363 basketball teams, they're 7th in the country in terms of steals per game. You get Madison Booker in transition. You get Rory Harmon in transition. That's what happens. 17th in blocks per game on the defensive end. That big old acre. Like, come on. 19th in total rebound percentage. I mean, they are very good. Ole Miss got to play some ball to compete with Texas on tomorrow. And that might not even be enough. That's how good I believe Texas is. I believe Texas is an outstanding basketball team. And it's led by, you can say it's led by Madison Booker. You can say it's led by Rory Harmon. However you want to say. 1A, 1B. Whatever situation that you want to say and how good is Texas women's basketball team. We'll start with Madison Booker, the 6'1" forward. SEC Player of the Year. Big 12 Player of the Year. All-American, all these accolades. She been balling. 33 minutes, 19 points per basketball game, give you 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. She been balling. Now on three-pointers, she can't really shoot no threes. And, this is the thing. In this age of three-pointers, and I mentioned that Texas don't really shoot no threes, so Madison Booker shouldn't even shoot no threes. Just don't even shoot none. She's 53% from the field, on 14 attempts. Just go with that. She has an offensive rating of 128.1. She has a defensive rating of 68.3. She's outstanding. She's second in the SEC in free throw shooting. She gets to the foul line a lot and shoots 86% when she's there. That's my wife always talking about free throws wins games. You want a player like Madison Booker who can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, who can also is clutch at the free throw line. She's an outstanding defensive player. Third in the SEC in defensive rating. If you see something, if you new to Captain Will, I love me some defense. I love me some young ladies who can play some defense. And if you are a only offensive player, I don't talk about you much. I ain't gonna talk about you too much. You ain't doing much for me just because you can score. Because if you can score on one end, but you're giving up buckets on the other end, you ain't doing it. You ain't floating my boat too much. But you got players like Madison Booker who can do that stuff. That is why I'm a fan of hers. She's a junior. When she comes out next year, she will be not only a first round pick. Come on, she's probably top 5 pick because she plays offense and she plays defense. And I hate the term of a two-way player. What the hell? Every basketball player, every person who picks up a basketball, my 8-year-old, I'm not telling him to you don't say, Junior, you got to be a two-way player. You got to play offense and you got to play defense. I'm like, what the hell? That's common sense. You got to play offense, you got to play defense. But in this nature, in this world of basketball, you have to single players out. Such and such is a two-way player. That means because such and such don't give a damn about no defense. I like the way Texas plays defense. I love the way Madison Booker plays defense. I do. She's 9th in the SEC in steals per basketball game. If you can play hellified defense with defensive rating of 68.3 while also leading your basketball team in scoring at 19 points per game while only taking 14 attempts per game, you are sensational in my book. Yes, you are. Madison Booker. But here's the thing now. Like I said, 1A, 1B. Warrior Harmon, 5th-year senior. I remember when she tore up her knee. I was like, damn, girl tore up her knee. But she came back strong. Came back better. And we're talking about point guards, true point guards. Warrior Harmon is at or near the top of the list. Okay? And she has been playing sensational for Texas. I talked about how she take care of the ball. Okay? But she's also the 5'6" guard is also getting you 30 minutes, 9 points, shooting over 50% from the field. Now, 3-pointers, we ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna mention that. No, we're not gonna say nothing about her 3-pointers. Free throw percentage, she shoots about 68% from the free throw line on a couple of attempts per basketball game. But what we will talk about Aurora Harmon, she's getting eight assists per game, 9 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, about 3 steals, only 1 turnover. She has an offensive rating, which is the highest of a Texas career, of 132.8, while also having a defensive rating of 69.1. That is amazing. She's second in the SEC in assists per game, while being 6th in the country. 6th in the country in assists per basketball game. She's 5th in the SEC in defensive rating. Notice I said about defense and offense? She is my type of player, offensively and defensively. 5th in the SEC in steal percentage. 6th in the SEC in assist percentage. She is a terrific basketball player. And you really got to pick your poison. Really got to pick your poison. She makes shots when she has to make shots while leading this basketball team the way a true point guard does. Okay? She took my heart. I'm not going to lie to you. I was in Vegas, and I was sitting near Texas fans. And when she hit that game-winning shot, I almost cried. It was a tear. It really was. It was a tear. But she hit a big bucket. And that's what big-time players does. Big-time players does. That's wrong. Big-time players do. And that's what she did. She's a great basketball player. And Texas got two of them who are awesome. Another player who I really love, and that's Jordan Lee. I wanted Jordan Lee, the 6-foot guard, who's a top 10 recruit in her recruiting class. I wanted Jordan Lee to be a Gamecock. I ain't going to sit here and lie. I ain't going to front. I'm not going to front and say I did not. I was upset when she went to Texas. I just got to keep it real. She is an outstanding basketball player, and Texas got her. Texas got her. She gave you about 33 minutes. 16 points, 45% from the field, 40% from three. I mentioned that Texas don't shoot a lot of three-pointers, but that one player who does shoot a lot of threes is Jordan Lee. Jordan shoots about 6 3-pointers per basketball game while also hitting that 40%. Okay, so you got some players on some other teams. We ain't gonna mention some of these players on these other teams that shoot about 6 or 7 3-pointers and got no business shooting that many 3-pointers because they're only shooting about 25, 26% from the 3-point line. Don't do that. You if you can't shoot 35% or higher, why in the hell you shooting 5, 6 3-pointers? You just want another team to get the rebound and go score. But Jordan Lee is shooting 40%. While getting 3 rebounds, 3 assists, couple of steals, 1 block, only 1 turnover, having offensive rating, best in her Texas career, of 130.2 with a defensive rating of 77.9. She is 7th in the country. Let me scratch that. 7th in the SEC in 3-point percentage. Texas is outstanding. Like I said before, Ole Miss got to play some ball to stick with Texas. Now, Ole Miss, 27th ranked right now in the net ranking. I believe the Ole Miss is a good basketball team. They're 14-2 overall. They have 168 strength of schedule. Not too good. Not too bad either. Just half and half. But what this deal about Ole Miss, okay? So, 168 in strength of schedule. They played 2 basketball teams in quadrant 1. They lost one of them. They beat one of them, which is Notre Dame. They beat Notre Dame on December 7th. Okay. Then we peel back the onion just a little bit more. They played 2 teams in quadrant 2. So 1-1 in quadrant 2. They played 2 teams in quadrant 3. They're 2-0. Then we go look at quadrant 4. So in quadrant 4, they 10-0. So they've stacked some great victories against some inferior teams. Now, we in SEC play. We will see how good Ole Miss is on tomorrow. We'll see how good they are. Offensively, they're 28th in the country. That's pretty solid. They're shooting 60% from the field and 43rd in 2-point percentage. They don't shoot a good rate at the 3-point line. Ole Miss really hasn't ever. Yeah, 301st and shooting the 3, and they don't shoot a bunch of them. They're 244th in the temp rate. You ain't gonna see a whole bunch of threes in this basketball game. You're going to see some hard-nosed defense. You're going to see some physical play. You're going to see some rebounding. You might see a tech or 2. All those great things that I know and love. And I say this right here. Refs, don't take this game away from these girls. Let these girls play. Let them play. Don't call this game too tight because you got a Texas team that is physical. You got an Ole Miss team that is physical. You got 2 coaches who don't give a damn. And I love that. I really let the best team win, and we'll just move on from that. I want to see some high-level basketball. I don't want to see some referees. In the SEC, we always see the same referees in the same games, so sometimes it gets my nerves. It's getting my nerves. I got bad nerves. Ole Miss is 139th in free throw percentage, 54th in assists per basketball game, 50th in fewest turnovers per game. They are a solid basketball team. They're 7th in offensive rebounding percentage. If you playing Ole Miss, they're going to rebound the basketball. They're going to play some good defense, and they're going to make you work for it. That's what Ole Miss does. In terms of the defensive rating, that's terrific. 9th in defensive rating. 71st in field goal percentage allowed. 2-point percentage allowed at 39th. That's the key right there. Because with Texas, they don't shoot a whole bunch of threes. So this 2-point percentage is vital for them. It's very vital. 23rd in blocks per game, 16th in overall and total rebounding percentage. They're standout players. Cody McMahon, transferred from Ohio State. She's leading the team in scoring. Okay, she's getting you 28 minutes. She's getting you 19 points, 49% from the field on 15 attempts. I mentioned a couple minutes ago that you got some players They're shooting threes that they shouldn't be shooting. And that player that I was talking about is Cody McMahon. She's shooting 26% from three. She don't need to be shooting no threes. And she shoot about 3.8, 4.2 3-pointers per basketball game. Just do what you do. Don't be shooting all them threes. In terms of free throw percentage, 63% from the free throw line on 6 attempts. You're a better player than that. 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 3 turnovers for Cody McMahon. She's 6th in the SEC in points per basketball game. Offensive rating, it's okay. 112.3, it's all right. Defensively, 73.9, that's very good. Cody McMahon is averaging more points in her year so far with Ole Miss than she ever did Ohio State. She ever did. She came to Ole Miss and transfer portal, and she's doing what she was brought in to do, and that's score the basketball. That's what she's doing. What's the player? 6'2" forward. Christian Awalala. I'm probably jacking that name up. I'm country, so sometimes I do that. I jack names up. I really like her, though. She gave you 28 minutes per basketball game. She's averaging 16 points, almost a double-double. 9 rebounds, shooting 59% from the field on 10 attempts. She's a solid basketball player. 5th in the SEC in field goal percentage, 6th in the SEC in offensive rebounding percentage. She's going to be a key trying to keep Texas off the boards. Now, she's only 6'2". So she got to deal with 6'5". She got to deal with 6'4". She got to deal with some active players, and she got to deal with some guards who rebound the basketball. So it's going to be something to watch. She's 10th in the SEC in player efficiency, 7th in the SEC in rebounds per basketball game. She can rebound the basketball. We'll see how she does tomorrow against a very physical Texas basketball team. The hype is real. Let's be clear with Texas. They are a very good basketball team. It ain't no way to you can't disregard anything that Texas have done so far. Like I mentioned before, UConn is number 1 basketball team. Texas is either number 2 or number 3. They could be better than South Carolina. If you say head-to-head, they are better than South Carolina. I'm not sure. I don't know. What I do know is Texas play really good defense. They don't turn the ball over. They play very efficient. They have a star in Madison Booker. They have a true point guard in Rory Harmon. They hit timely threes from Jordan Lee, and they have an outstanding coach in Vic Schaefer, who's been there and done that. They are very talented at the game of basketball. And in terms of the game tomorrow versus Ole Miss, Texas is going to beat Ole Miss. I should have started that. Texas is going to beat Ole Miss. Texas is going to beat Ole Miss by double digits tomorrow. Captain Will is a betting man. Let me just say that out loud. I do. That's why Vegas is my happy place. It really is. Texas is going to beat them by double digits. What Texas need to do is do what they do. Like, what does that mean, Captain Will? What does that mean, do what you do? Play defense. Madison Booker, get to your spots and hit timely shots. Get fouled and go to the free throw line. Get those easy baskets. Rory Harmon, keep everybody engaged. Jordan Lee, hit a couple of threes. Don't get frustrated by the way that Ole Miss plays, because you are a better basketball team. Make no mistake about it. You are a better basketball team. If you play down a little bit to Ole Miss, you're going to be in a situation. You play down to Ole Miss, it might be some furniture moving going on tomorrow afternoon. But if Texas plays the way they are supposed to play, Texas will win this game handily, even against a very solid basketball team who will go to the NCAA tournament. With that being said, this concludes another episode of Ballin with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to I was about to say Gamecocks Talk, to Ballin with Captain Will. It will change your life. You are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go.